the ground at the moment. Thankfully, I've got these binoculars, which are saving the day for my commentary. This one's headed up, booted forward from Laurie. Smith. Normington will get it from a nice ball from Ferreira Bass. Ferreira Bass now on a right boot, a chance. Candia works it inboard, but it's cleared. Some big moments there. Now it's Souza on the ball. Dying stages of this one. Candia plays it in towards Yuka Sato. Sato's capable. Oh, she's just missed it to the left. Yuka Sato, less than a metre away there from glory. Things certainly heating up. Is that Candia again? She's been busy. Chantel Candia, the number 5. She's come on off the bench and been a nice addition to this Greens outfit. Could we be in for one last goal? We haven't seen one here in this second half. We saw 2 in the first. Souza in towards Normington. Up the line. Lasky up against Oxley. Zoe Howden does super well. Zoe Howden on a mazy run. Well defended there from Oxley, but Zoe Howden, I tell you what, that was threatening. She was the top goal scorer last season with 8 goals. She's scored 3 times this season. The 26-year-old. Not long to go at all in this game. Three minutes of added time, so not long at all. Here come Bentleigh Greens. Ferreira Bass tried to get onto that one. Big balls to be won here. The 2 captains going at it now. Ferreira Bass wins the day. Looking for an option now. We'll find Yuka Sato. Pressure being applied. Templeman. Long down the line. Ferreira Bass. They'll take a draw here. Bentleigh Greens without a doubt. Ali. Up the line. Could this be the moment? Summer Lasky. Shoots. What a save. Barbieri. Saves the day. Could that be the moment that gets Bentleigh Greens a draw and their 4th point of the season? What a save. Summer Lasky, good shot. Found a bit of separation, but Barbieri, what a save. Free kick here going the way of Bentleigh Greens. Not long left now. 3 minutes of out of time. We've already chewed up about half of it. Long ball from Oxley. Ferreira Bass, header. Templeman now. He's being very quick about all this. That's a nice drop kick, about 50 metres. Oxley headers it. Normington now. Wrestling. Moving it quickly now. Robers on the ball. up against Lasky. Tough conditions for the players. It's cold. It's foggy out there. And well done. Robers, Emma Robers, the number 6 for Bentleigh Green. She's been rock solid in defence. Seconds left in this one. Not long at all. Dustin, Yukasato, clear it away, and they've probably secured a draw. Maybe one last opportunity. Ball thrown in. Ali boots it. That one goes the way of Alamein. And it goes out again. Another throw in. This will be the last moment. Last chance. They could get this into the box, but Freya Bass, the captain of Bentleigh Greens, clears it. I thought I just heard the final whistle. It's not to be. But surely this will be it. Freya Bass is down at the moment. That's concerning. But it's looking like a draw here. Alamein, they were 1-0 down. This result will lift Bentleigh Greens closer towards second last Melbourne City. And there we have it, full time here at Kingston Heath. Bentleigh Greens coming away with a draw. It's their first draw of the season. There's a few words from the Alamein bench, but it's full time. That's the end of this one. Alamein coming here hoping to get a win. It's not to be. It's a draw, 1-1. And they will go up one spot on the table from 7th to 6th. Bentleigh, well, it's a good step forward for them. They get their first draw of the season. And there we have it. So 2 goals in the first half is all we saw in terms of goals. It was Savannah Oxley making it 1-0 in the 15th minute. And then Miller Ralph, 1-1 in the 29th minute. So a good result here for both teams. They come away with a 1-1 draw. And that's it here from Kingston Heath. I hope you've enjoyed this round 18 Senol NPLM Victoria women's match between Bentleigh Greens and Alamein. We will see you next time.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Hello everybody and welcome to Kingston Heath Soccer Complex for round 18 of the Senol NPL men's victorious season. It's Bentleigh Greens versus Altona Magic, and to put it simply, it is a relegation six-pointer between two sides who are looking to stave off the drop in 2026. My name is Nick Tabano and I'm joined here alongside Nick Hughes for all the action tonight in what is set to be a huge game for both of these two teams. When you look at the context of their season, 3 points are worth more. When you look at sort of the table and where things are at, the context of this season, it feels like that every point in this run home are going to be worth its weight in gold. Bentleigh, they come into this game off the back of a torrid run of form, and they have responded in the first week of the transfer window by making a plethora of new signings. In fact, they have made 9. 8 of those are in the squad tonight, and 6 of those are in the starting lineup and are as follows: Andrew Withers in goals, Ross Matthews, George Mells, Aidan Von Essen, Campbell Dovison and Ben Jiba, while Ndue Muyetsi and Kokorio, new Japanese signing as well, on the bench. Coming out of the squad from last week's 5-1 loss against South Melbourne, a goalkeeper Brandon White, Dennis Menelau, Anthony Lynn, Ismail Haji, Brando Conte, Luca Resti, Kenzo Davies and Dimitri Ralos, with a plethora of those players, and we'll go through it a little bit later, having departed the squad in this window. Meanwhile, for Altona, after a 2-1 loss against St Albans on the road, they have made 3 changes to the starting lineup, and one of those is a new signing. In fact, it's a familiar face in Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkova between the sticks. He replaces the outgoing Brandon Kumanow. Brandon Lawton comes into the starting lineup alongside Gavin Tasevsky. Ayman Sordo also returns to the squad, with Joffrey Lino dropping out, and veterans John Slujewski and Brian Sutamo are on the bench. Rounding out the starting lineups for both teams as well for Bentleigh, their top scorer Marky Petrados, Deo Nicolaides, Mario Boldea, Michael Boffey and Kalalu Kamara, the only players remaining from that 5-1 defeat against South Melbourne, while Altona joined by the likes of Hiyori Kawaguchi, Lachlan Gillard, Garangaro, John Mabok, Owen McCloskey, Alex Gust, Peter Itzopoulos and Ollie Kellart. Very foggy conditions here for Friday night football at Kingston Heath, but it's a massive game for both of these two teams. Both locked on 16 points. Altona with their noses ahead due to a superior goal difference. Bentleigh, who started this season so resolute defensively, have been leaking goals for fun in the last few weeks. And really, those few weeks from a Bentleigh perspective, there's been nothing fun about it, but they'll be hoping to turn things around in the final few weeks of this season. So we welcome in Nick Hughes. Nick, it is foggy, it is cold, it is proper winter football today, and if there's one thing for certain, this game has a lot riding on it as George Mells plays it out to that far side. Early opportunity here for the home side, and it's cleared away by Kawaguchi. A lot of new faces out here for Bentleigh today. 6 of those in the starting lineup. A further 2 of those we spoke about in Yuto Kukakorio and Ndue Muyetsi on the bench tonight. But Nick, this is a massive game.
It's huge. What a day. You got to love the transfer window, don't you? They might be Bentleigh Greens, but we might as well call them Bentleigh Reds tonight because they're almost unrecognisable from how they have been all season. It's been plenty of speculation and teasing of transfers for a number of clubs. Obviously, in particular, a bit of a Dandenong Thunder flavour about some of these moves for Bentleigh as well. But it just adds that extra layer of intrigue, as you mentioned in the build-up, Nick. It's such a crucial game. Feels like a win for either side could really start to be used as a platform to strive towards safety. And we'll see how they can handle the conditions. We'll see how Bentleigh go betting in the new players as well. It's going to be a very, very intriguing 90 minutes.
Altona looking to do a little bit of early attacking down that left-hand side. Kamara coming out to support and do the business from the defensive end. One of the only survivors from the starting lineup from that 5-1 loss against South Melbourne. There's a free kick awarded there to the Greens on that far side. To paint a picture for those at home, and you can probably tell as well for those that are watching on the YouTube stream, it's so hard to see on the opposite side of the field. Driving into Kingston Heath today and seeing the fog coming through, you thought, well, this is going to be one of those nights tonight. It was a beautiful day in Melbourne, But right now, as we know in winter, when it's usually sunny, Nick, we know what it's like when the sun sets. So this is the epitome of that as a free kick awarded to Altona, a foul there on John Mabok.
If my my farmer background, thanks to my mother who grew up in the country on a farm, I believe the sort of old adage or the saying goes that a foggy night leads to a nice day the following day. So hopefully that rings true, because it is foggy. Can confirm it's very foggy.
It is extremely foggy, so bear with us as we also continue to tussle with the fog tonight. As the players today as well, they're going to have to deal with too. I mean, if you're a player out there today, you understand the stakes of how important this game is. Bentleigh Greens on 16 points, Altona on 16, as we spoke about, but Bentleigh with that minus 21 goal difference compared to Altona's minus 12, so minus 21 to minus 12, 9 goal difference between the two teams. We'll run through some stats later on, because really since that early flurry to start the season from Bentleigh, where they were so formidable defensively, they have just been a complete opposite over the best part of 2 months, while Altona have really defied the odds yet again. And with coaching turnover, with the suspension of Goran Lozanovsky as their head coach, and everyone continuously riding off Altona Magic, as it seems like every season that they're expected to battle relegation or be among the teams going down, they find themselves with their noses in front in that survival battle. But these games will go a long way to either of these two teams surviving in the top flight this season. There's a throw-in awarded there. Oliver Killart now in possession. Well defended there, but Garangaro won it back. Killart holding it up there against Dale Nicolaides, and it's gone out there for a throw into the green. So those new faces in the starting lineup you might be seeing. Number 6, Ross Matthews. We'll talk about his resume soon, but a player with plenty of experience from Scotland making his way. This would feel very familiar for Ross Matthews. Very experienced timer, former Hearts Academy player, and spent the majority of his career, basically his whole career, with Wraith Rovers in the Scottish Championship. As well, number 10, George Mel's a very experienced player. Aidan Von Essen, number 11. Number 23, Campbell Dovison. And Ben Jeeba, number 24 as well at right back. Bandua Mietzi and Yuto Kokorio we expect to see at some point today on the bench. As Killart goes to grounds, no free kick given. And of course, Andrew Withers as well in goals today, the experienced goalkeeper making the move from Dandy Thunder. Mel's nods it out wide towards Von Essen. Big collision there on that far side. No free kick given. It's out for a throw-in. Bentleigh looked to take it quickly. Mel's making the run, looking for Petrados in the middle, but Gillard did well to nod it away. Still in a crossing position here for Bentleigh. And it's a corner, so a little bit of early attacking here for the Greens. While it's been hard for them to keep them out, it's also been a problem for them scoring this season. Maki Petrados has scored 10 goals this season, Nick. He's far and away, I mean, when you look at their goal scoring this season, they've scored 17 for the season. Petrados, 10 of them. So they definitely need more players to come along and support Petrados, who's been a fantastic player all season. Ball into the near post, and it's cleared away, and George Mells can recycle possession.
Yeah, Marky Petrados has certainly shouldered a lot of the load up front for Bentleigh. Look at the players that they have left. The only other player in the matchday squad that has multiple goals this season is defender Scott Hillier, who's on the bench. Luca Resti not in the squad at all, on 2 goals as well. Have to wonder where Bentleigh would be without Marky Petrados. He tried the neat little flick to get him behind there, but Kawaguchi was on form. First chance to extend the legs for Von Essen, rather. And the first involvement back in Altona colours for Ilya Shalamanov Trenkova. On loan from South Melbourne, he played 5 games in the OFC Pro League, none in the Senol NPL or indeed the New Balance Stockity Cup, the brief stint that South Melbourne had in the Doherty Cup this year, of course, the reigning champions. Back on loan at Altona, where he started 7 games last year. And we'll be looking to make an impact. Both sides debuting new goalkeeping signings tonight. Aru to Gillard, then into Lawton. Baldea for company. Spreads it to Kawaguchi. Lifts on over the top. It's a lovely ball from Kawaguchi and brilliantly taken into the box. And first chance of the game falls to the visitors. John Mabok rising at the near post to connect with the header. Lovely bit of play from Altona, moving it from right to left, getting the ball in the box. And as much as we can praise Maki Petratos and the impact that he's had for Bentleigh, you'd have to say John Mabok has been a similar talisman for Altona this season. Not quite on target on that occasion, but a first-sider for him.
Absolutely, Nick. He's been one of the revelations this season across the entire competition. You know, it's a player who had NPL experience at Melbourne Knights and went down to Werribee last season and down in VPL 2, and Altona brought him back into the top flight this season, and he's made that starting position up front his own and really kicked on. And we have seen strikers who have played for Altona. You think of Bull Juarch, who was able to catapult onto bigger and better things off the back of his form with Altona. Not to try and sell John Mabok to another team in NPL Victoria, but it goes to show that this club has produced some great strikers, or just provided a good platform for strikers to really take the next step. And John Mabok in recent weeks has had some really big performances. That game against South Melbourne springs to mind a couple of weeks ago, where he helped them come away with that incredible win at Lakeside. So one to watch in this relegation battle, but really think him and Maki Petratos have just been so key for both these two teams in their hopes of survival, and are going to be in these weeks ahead.
Absolutely. When goals are hard to come by at the bottom of the table, having that linchpin up front, so important. High into the fog. Drops onto Boffy's head on the halfway line and picked up by Matthews. That's a lovely bit of skill. Ross Matthews and the ball in the box. Repelled by Kawaguchi. Still alive for Bentleigh. Petratos tried to hook it in behind. I believe that was just with the clearance and right in the territory of where we can see absolutely nothing on that far side, but a lovely little burst of skill and energy. First real sign of Ross Matthews' quality. As you mentioned, Nick, comes with 340 appearances of experience for Wraith Rovers. And Altona were looking to get him behind. There's a cynical foul. The card is yellow. Ben Jeeba, I believe it was, on debut for Bentleigh with the foul.
Oh, that was a nervous moment there for Ben Jeeba, because he was the last man. So the Altona bench are up in arms there, Nick. They thought that should have been a red card, and that would have been some way to kick off your Bentleigh career by being sent off in the first 10 minutes. But luckily for him, he survives for now. But that just goes to show the speed of Altona going back the other way, something Bentleigh are going to have to contend with tonight.
Yeah, it was, I believe they call that orange territory, somewhere in between a yellow or red. Obviously the referee deeming that there were enough Bentleigh defenders retreating to make it not a denial of a goal scoring opportunity, but a free kick in a dangerous position. Bentleigh clear eventually at the second time of asking. Doverson will give chase, and Matthews crunches in on Just. No whistle. The whistle now goes for a Bentleigh free kick, and Alexander Just is still on the floor feeling the effects of that hit from Ross Matthews.
Yeah, just almost trucked through him there as well. Ross Matthews going right through Gus there, and good to see he's all good to continue. Yeah, again, the Altona bench with a few protests in a couple of minutes there. They believe that should have been a free kick going their way, but Ross Matthews already imposing himself early, Nick, and they do need that little bit of midfield steal, something that they've missed at times this year with some key outs. Cross into the area, it's not a bad ball in, and it's past both Petrados and Campbell-Dovison. This season, Nick, they came in, they had a lot of experience in the middle of the park that were on that list. You look at Moe Dar, you look at Lee Broxton, but both players have struggled with injuries this season, unavailable again tonight. So they've really had to go out and get some more experience to try and shield that defence, because when they were flying early doors and they were able to keep things tight and compact in midfield, they had those players to really lead the charge in the middle of the park, and you can already see Ross Matthews barking instructions, telling his players where to be. And that's exactly what they need tonight. It's a good ball through. Here's a chance for Kellard, and well defended there by the Bentleigh defence. It's going to be coming straight back, though. A crossing position. Benjiba with the tackle, and out for a corner. Right in that far corner.
It's a real timely intervention in the box from Dion Nicolaides to stop Oliver Kellart getting in.
There's a play down here for Altona after that little collision there, out on that far side. So such a big game today for both of these two teams. Bentleigh, in particular, needs something to try and just steady them after a difficult few weeks. Altona take a big step towards safety, having a 3-point gap, but also having that goal difference as well, Nick. Could be massive in the final weeks of the season. Both teams have been able to get a little bit of a gap. Obviously a bigger gap on Green Gully due to their struggles this season, but Dandenong Thunder as well, who are going into this weekend fresh off an 11-0 defeat. So a corner here for Altona. Again, a bit for the referee to work with inside the 6-yard box. There's a player down. It's going to the deck was Mario Baldea. One of 4 games tonight in NPL Victoria, this one. And updates from around the grounds. Just looking over the halfway line there. Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkova just getting a little bit of silver service from his captain, Brandon Lawton. Shoelaces done up, all good. Cross into the area. Ball punched away there by Withers, but it's going to be coming straight back from a corner. So what can Altona conjure up here from this set piece? Done the majority of the attacking early. Have the magic. They make it pay. It's a very delightful ball into the box. There's a player down inside the 6-yard box. It's gone out for another corner. Yet another shout towards the referee. What do you think there, Nick? Was there anything in that?
Wow, I don't know how the ball didn't hit anyone.
Yeah.
It went through everyone at the back post and in the 6-yard box, and Altona keeping the pressure on. 3rd successive corner.
Bentleigh defence with under siege in these early few minutes. Another corner whipped in, this time to the near post. It's flicked on towards goal, and Ollie Kellart gives the Magic the lead. The perfect start here from the visitors, and they strike first in this relegation 6-pointer.
Well, it was coming. 2 dangerous corners delivered right before it. Bentleigh could only send it right back out where it came from, and 3rd time's a charm. Perfect delivery to the near post, and the timing of the run from Ollie Kellart couldn't get any better. Brilliant leap and just the deft flicked header, giving Andrew Withers no chance on his Bentleigh debut. And that is an absolutely massive start for Altona. Would have been tough for them to prepare for this one, not knowing exactly what kind of Bentleigh side they were going to be coming up against. Seeing the team sheet, seeing all the new faces, they've responded superbly. And right away, nearly in behind again. Withers with a big clearance. Huge start for the Magic.
This has just been, unfortunately, Nick, a familiar tale for Bentleigh. I mean, just look at these stats, which is quite incredible. First 7 games of the season, they went 4 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats, 10 goals scored, 3 conceded. Since then, in their last 10, and we'll include tonight as well, 0 wins, 3 draws, 7 defeats, 7 goals scored, and that goal there was their 36th conceded in their last 10 and a bit games. Incredible at just how quickly things have changed for them throughout this period of time. But plenty of time for them to turn this one around, Nick.
Plenty of time indeed. And you imagine the longer this game goes, the more the new players will fit in. And speaking of fitting in, George Mells with a wicked switch of play. Out on the far side. And they've earned themselves a free kick. We saw Altona's threat from set pieces, and this one will come in from a dangerous area for Bentleigh. But it is remarkable, isn't it, Nick? I remember we were here for the visit of St Albans when Bentleigh were right in form and St Albans were struggling, and that was really the result that sort of kicked it off, wasn't it? St Albans raced out to, I believe it was a 3-1 halftime lead, ended up winning 4-2. And the following week was the 7-0 loss to Melbourne City, and it's just snowballed from there for Bentleigh. Haven't won a game, as you mentioned, since round 7 for a couple of months. Need a big turnaround on home soil. Free kick is deep to Kamara at the back post. He nodded it down into a good area, but no one was arriving. It's kept in well by Hatsopoulos. Forces Nicolaides all the way back to Withers. A couple of Bentleigh players are offside, so they won't challenge. And Gus can finally bring it back on the deck. Kawaguchi, nice ball up the line. Interesting now to see how Bentleigh respond, because, of course, you look at those stats, you think there's potentially a confidence issue coming into this game, but with all these new players, perhaps a fresh mentality, a fresh bit of urgency. We'll see how they respond to going behind. Petrados gets it out wide to Campbell-Dovison. Looking to go 1v1 against the Roo. The Roo marshalled him well. It's a nice reverse ball. Petrados can deliver now. Gust heads away, Mel's back in. Kawaguchi sliced his clearance. Petrados will put it in again. Another excellent ball shaped towards the back post. And once again, Alexander Gust with a perfect defensive intervention with his head.
Good response here from Bentleigh in the last couple of minutes, starting to get Mel's on the ball and get their wingers active as well. Campbell-Dovison, Nick, is someone who has plenty of trickery in him. He's got plenty of goals in him as well, and need to try and get him into this game and try and start to get that front four, if you include Mel's in that, active in those attacking areas.
Corner again, it's deep towards the back post. Shalamanov Trinkova can let it go all the way out. Yeah, it's an intriguing signing, Campbell-Dovison. We've seen so much of his talent and impact for a long time, not just in Victoria, but in Australian football all told. He's in the Central Coast Mariners Academies. He was a regular for the Joeys, under-17 Australian national team. Played alongside a certain Nestor Irankunda, if I remember correctly, at Goulburn Valley's home turf, John McEwen Reserve, in a series of matches. Another dangerous delivery. Really favouring that left-hand side are Altona Magic. But Dovison didn't get a host of first-team opportunities for South Melbourne, apart from those afforded to him during the OFC Pro League clashes. It's the 8 starts in the top flight this season. 1 goal, and it was a lovely goal at that against Preston too, but we all know his Doherty Cup final heroics from last year. See if he can have a new lease of life in Bentleigh Green. Nicolaides under pressure, but does well. Back to Buffy and Withers. Energy's been really impressive, hasn't it, Nick, from Altona? Another example there, pressing Buffy and albeit conceding the throw, but not giving Bentleigh any time to play out of the back.
It's been an impressive start from Altona, but really you can see even despite that loss against St Albans, a hard-fought 2-1 loss on the road last week, they're playing with a lot more confidence as well. And right now, I think ever since, they've had a lot of turmoil in the last few weeks when you think about the suspension of Goran Lozanovsky, but Devon Bond has stepped in and done a really good job since taking over. 2 wins and 3 losses under his stewardship, but those 2 wins against Preston and South Melbourne, and they've been competitive, so he'd be very pleased with what he's seen. He's got this team out of the bottom 3 and in a good position to potentially kick on and once again survive. I mean, they're a team that just continue to find a way, season on season. Really, the one season where they really went on a run was that 2023 season under John Markovsky and got to the finals when they had the likes of Jonas Markovsky and Sian Cuba really leading the line for that team. But right now, they've been in the relegation battle. It's been their 3rd straight season, but they've found a way in those last 2 years, and you back them to do it yet again. As Jibba locked in that corner, just dinks it away, and the ball goes out there for a throw-in. Altona is the team that keeps finding a way at this stage here. This is almost Altona time right now. And it gets cold, and these games become tough as the ball floated into the box. It's not a bad ball into the area. Garangaroo at the back post. And I think there was a mix-up there between him and Mabok. Mabok getting in the way of Aro. And the ball goes out there for a throw-in.
Looked like that ball was going to sit perfectly for Garangaroo's arrival at the back post. It was a great late run. He just wasn't quite quick enough, or the ball wasn't quite accurate enough for him to really stride on it and get a clean hit. But again, Nick, as we touched on, really impressive opening 25 minutes from the visitors. Still very much playing on the front foot since going 1-0 up.
So how can Bentleigh respond here? Their response so far has been pretty good since going behind. They've been able to a little more comfortable in possession and have a few half chances, but can they build something up here from the back? They're able to win a throw in here and get a bit of valuable territory. Petratus wins the throw in. Bentleigh, of course, in their first season back in the top flight this year. 2 seasons in VPL 1 after that shock relegation in 2023, but want to make sure that this is not a 1-year stay. They want to re-establish themselves as one of the top teams in Victorian football. They were bullish coming into this year that they could compete for finals, and it was looking that way in the early stages. But now they've got another fight on their hands. Baldea's ball over the top. He's nodded away by Gillard. Mel's does well to mop up. Nicolaides in a crossing position, floats it in towards the back stick. Rising highest was Von Essen, and Benjiba unable to chase that one down and out for a throw-in. But Nick, this is a proud club, a club that we do know. I mean, they've had deep runs in the Australia Cup. They've won NPL Victoria Championships in recent years. They've won Doherty Cups under the likes of John Anastasiadis and Nick Tolios. But since then, the relegation in 2023, of course, set them back a little bit. But under George Katsakis, they were able to find their way back in the second year of their stay in the second tier. But so far, their return has been quite difficult in the early going, but still plenty of time for them to turn it around this season to get themselves clear, but also to, in the most immediate future, just come away with some points today as they find themselves behind. They win a free kick here.
Approaching 28 minutes on the clock. Again, an opportunity for Bentleigh to lift one into the box. A couple of set pieces that haven't quite hit the mark as yet. We'll see what George Mells can conjure up with this one. It's over everybody. Petrados will regather. Nicolaides finds Petrados again, turns on a dime and crosses. No one at the drop of the ball. Comes all the way to Baldea. Mells. Back in the box again. Aru. And smashed clear.
Four games tonight, Nick. Plenty of action happening. Heidelberg-Oakley still 0-0. That's a heavyweight clash, but one result's really standing out at the moment. Dandy City up 2-0 against Avondale up the road in Endeavour Hills. And I'll tell you what, Dandy City, they continue to be the great enigma in this competition. I mean, after beating Heidelberg, losing against George Cross, and now bouncing back against Avondale. Mind you, an Avondale team who have said keep an eye on the socials tomorrow morning for a big signing that might be coming their way, leaning into the rumour mill and all the big names that have supposedly been linked to the club over the last few weeks. And Melbourne City as well leading against St Albans. So plenty of action for those who are hopefully a lot warmer than us watching at home.
Yeah, Dandy City hasn't it just been a remarkable season for them, really, before it even started with the points deduction as well. Bentleigh are on the attack. It was a nice idea to try and thread George Mells through, but yeah, as you mentioned, Nick, Dandy City looked like they'd turned the corner and found a couple of solutions, a couple of wins in a row, and then all of a sudden 3-0 down at half-time against Georgie's, brought it back to 3-2, but couldn't pick up any points. I think it's certainly going to be a dangerous proposition for any finals chasing team. If they don't make finals themselves, they'll certainly shake things up. Bentleigh have got themselves in a tangle. Mabok tried the early shot, and Andrew Withers was scrambling to get back on his line, and I dare say that new Bentleigh stopper is a little bit fortunate that Mabok seemingly just picked him out with his effort.
Well, you know what an opportunity that was there for Altona, and Bentleigh just caught napping as they were playing out from the back. A lapse in concentration just opened the door there for the youngster Hatsopoulos to chase that one down, and linking up well there with Kellard and Mabok. But Mabok's effort very tame in the end there, Nick. Just didn't put enough power or placement behind that, and that was easy pickings there for the veteran keeper. Doverson. Lawton does well to win it back. Doverson chasing that one down and out for a throw-in. So you do wonder how long we'll wait to see when Bentleigh do bring on the remainder of their new signings. Headlining those is Ndue Muyetsi, player last season at North Sunshine Eagles, who played a big role in their run towards the playoffs. Aru, Kellard into the area, and his cross is picked off there by Withers. But Muyetsi, a lot of experience playing overseas, and now on the bench for Bentleigh. And you get a sense he's been given the number 9 jersey from the off as well. Recently vacated by as confirmed to us before the game, Dennis Menelau, one of the departures at Bentleigh Greens. Some of the others do include Brandon White and Anthony Lynn, Ismail Haji, Jawad Razai, just to name a few. Brando Conte as well, departing too. So a big clean out to start this transfer window, Nick, and we've seen a few new faces pop up already across the competition, and probably expect more in the days ahead as the teams look to chase down their respective goals of finals or relegation, or if you're in the leagues below as well, promotion.
Yeah, it's been a huge start to the window, hasn't it? Wade Decker crossing the Dandenong Divide. Christian Theoharis landing at Heidelberg alongside Tasma Mutakutis as well. Some fascinating big-name moves, and as you mentioned, all eyes on Avondale Socials tomorrow. We've still got a week left to see who stocks up where.
I think the last time over Avondale really teased out. Well, they did in the off-season with the, I think it was like the FIFA cards they did in the off-season where they teased out some of the signs. But mid-season sign they really teased out was another former Bentleigh Green in Golgol Mabaratu. That was one that was very close to the heart, seeing Golgol Mabaratu make the move to NPL Victoria. But be interesting to see who they bring in, because apparently one of those three players is a highly accomplished A-League's veteran, an A-League star, you could say. So, as you said, Nick, set your alarms, 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Tackle from Nicolaides very nearly became a through ball for Petratos, but ran all the way through to the goalkeeper. Mabok keeps a hold of possession. He's run around in a big circle to make sure Altona stay in possession. With Kawaguchi back to Shalamanov-Trenkova. Gillard puts it over the top, invites Kellart to chase. Boffey was with him every step of the way.
This game's really settled into a very, very cagey affair. This opening 35 minutes. Very physical game from the off, Nick, but it does feel like Altona look the more likely to find that next goal. When they go forward, they do present a lot of danger for this Bentleigh defence, and really liking the start of Garanga Road coming forward from right back, Nick. He's been very impressive this season. A great signing from Altona. Mabok was looking for the run there of the goal-scoring Kellart, and the ball rolls out there for a goal kick. So 35 minutes played, in case you're just tuning in now. Oliver Kellart's goal, the difference here at Kingston Heath. The Sri Lankan international finding the back of the net there for the Magic. Nicolaides. Well organised behind the ball. Hard the Magic, really led by Brandon Lawton in the middle of the park, the captain. Skip past McCloskey, and big challenge on that far side. The ball finds Mells. Petratos drifting out wide, looking for Von Essen. One of the other new signings, the returning face to the Bentleigh Greens for a short spell at Melbourne Knights. Goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah, with all the change in the transfers, Nick, haven't seen a great deal of Bentleigh's midfield really controlling proceedings and looking to get on the ball. Ross Matthews threw his weight around early. George Mells has had a bit of it, but struggling to really dictate the tempo, get the ball on the deck and get it zipping about.
Another injured player here, Nick. It's Brandon Lawton, by the looks of it, who's gone to the deck. The Altona captain returning to the starting lineup this week. Well, it's cool, it's foggy down here in Melbourne southeast. And it's Altona with their noses in front. They've found the magic in this opening half. Bentleigh, with all their new faces, yet to really test this Altona defence all too often. This is the second of a doubleheader here tonight at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. The NPL women's side, Bentleigh's NPL women's side of that, playing against Alamein here at Kingston Heath.
Yeah, 1-1 draw for them, an important point in their own bid to stave off relegation in NPLW. Alamein will look to dust themselves off, and they have a big Nike FC Cup quarter-final against Essendon Royals on Tuesday night at the home of the Matildas. Have to love this time of the Victorian football season, Nick. Finals are approaching in the league. Doherty Cup, Australia Cup's just around the corner. We had the draw last week. And we're going to have a change here for Altona. So Brandon Lawton, as you said, Nick, back in the starting lineup with the captain's armband on. He's going to be forced off with an injury, and Brian Satomo will come on in his place. It's a real shame for Brandon Lawton.
Yeah, that's real disappointment for the captain's evening to come to a premature end, Nick. It's been such an important signing for them as well, coming across from Preston Lions. Plenty of experience playing in big games, not only for Preston, but in the A-League as well. So a big loss for them. Must apologise. I did say a little bit earlier that Aiden Von Essen was previously at Melbourne Knights. I don't believe that is correct.
Clifton Hill, I believe, he's arrived from.
Apologies for that one. It's a very short stint at Clifton Hill, it must have been, because obviously was there last year and helped them get promoted to NPL Victoria.
Yeah, I believe he, in doing the quickfire research before this one, as we had the transfer news coming in, I came across a re-signed graphic on the Bentleigh socials for this year. Then obviously he's ended up at Clifton Hill. Only played the 3 games for Clifton Hill and made the swift return to Kingston Heath. Heading into the last 5 minutes of this first half. Feels like the ball's hardly been in play for the last 5 minutes or so with the injury stoppage and a couple of free kicks and throw-ins, but it's on the deck now. Bentleigh really need to wrestle some control and some momentum here to avoid yet another defeat. Oh, that was nice from Boffey. Charging through the middle and finding Mells. George Mells slightly under hit, looking for Dovison. Nearly had a second go at it, but Garangaroo once again up to the task. You mentioned him, Nick. He's been outstanding tonight, as he has all season for Altona. Kamara did his job well. Matthews and Boffey. Baldea can face forward. He missed his touch, though, and he's dribbled into trouble. Altona can break again, but the offside flag is up. That's an unfortunate one. It was just off the challenge and the little ricochet. The Altona bench isn't happy, but I think the assistant referee has got that one right. Unfortunate, because yet again the press was excellent from Altona. Bentleigh playing themselves into trouble. They've really got to get that sorted out over the halftime break.
It's the second time in a matter of minutes. Obviously, we saw that earlier when John Mabok had that opportunity to beat Andrew Withers from range, and Bentleigh just playing themselves into trouble in some of those moments. But Altona have done well to scout those plays and cause those turnovers and create those opportunities. As Jeebus cross into the box is not clear by Ollie Killart. Topoulos helps it clear. It's coming back through Nicolaides. Dovison shields the ball away from Aru, but getting back to help out was Topoulos. Tasevsky, his clearance is blocked. Nicolaides still going from defence. Well played. Petratos looking for the run of one of Mel's or Nicolaides. Couldn't find him. Topoulos is fouled. And Altona can breathe a sigh of relief. Just looking on the bench for both teams tonight. Only a few survivors from that game against South Melbourne. Of course, we mentioned the two new signings, Ndue Mietzi and Yuto Kokorio. Yanni Balatzis, Kordeng, Samuel Graller and Scott Hillier on the bench tonight. Scott Hillier, I believe, he plays tonight, will be his 100th NPL Victoria appearance. Of the Altona Magic, Casey Wentz, the backup goalkeeper, Liram Almazi, John Stojchevsky, Eric Constantini Ziu, Eamon Sordo on the bench. Of course, we've already seen Brian Sutamo come on for the injured Brandon Lawton. A lot of experience on that bench for Altona. tonight as well, right across the field. So really fascinating to see how both teams handle things in that second 45, with Bentleigh needing to try and chase this one down. McCloskey looking to help it forward. Ball's out for a throw-in on that far side, which is covered really by a blanket of thick fog, to say the least.
I don't know if I've just got used to it, Nick, but I feel like it's thinning out. Just.
I think our eyes have just adjusted. Maybe incrementally.
Matthews had to stretch to reel that one in, and then it was a poor touch from Bentleigh, dealt with in the end. Matthews can only pick out Aru, who dallied on the ball. Bentleigh and Dovison not on the same page. Ball's pinging about a little bit all over the place. Neither team really controlling possession and dictating play with the ball at their feet. It's been a lot of physicality, tough challenges, and it's Altona with the lead via a set piece. Matthews with a strong header. Von Essen tried the switch. Gus brought that down really smartly. McCloskey happy to let that one run out for a throw-in. See how much time added on. Had a couple of injury stoppages, so there will be a couple of minutes. Of course, there's no minimum 3-minute break, as we're seeing at the World Cup, with the hydration breaks in heavy inverted commas. Of course, talking about the World Cup, a huge result this afternoon, and fantastic for Australian football. The Socceroos back in the knockout stages.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nick, the only hydration break that I think that people in attendance here need tonight, especially ourselves, be a warm hydration break, and there'll definitely not be one of those today in this one. 3 minutes of added time, but as you said, Nick, great day for Australian football. A gritty 0-0 draw against Paraguay, exactly what we needed to qualify for the round of 32. Now all eyes on tomorrow afternoon to see how they play the following week. Every chance it could be a trans-Tasman derby.
Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, I wonder if Ross Matthews or any of the many Brits across the Senol NPL Victoria are going to introduce Bovril to any of the club canteens. Certainly need one on a night like tonight.
Tell you what, respect to everyone coming out and watching the game, whether you're here at Kingston Heath or wherever you are across Victorian football tonight. It's a freezing night, but it doesn't deter the true believers of Victorian football, as we like to call them. You might be out and about, whether you're in Bentleigh or at the Olympic Village or down at Churchill Reserve, wherever you might be, or even down in Endeavour Hills or wherever, State League. It's a cold night, but good to see that people getting out and about and supporting their teams tonight.
I'm seeing a young man down to our left wearing shorts.
Brave. Beyond brave.
Unbelievable. Not long left then to finish off the first half, and Altona, as has been on brand throughout the first half, threatening right in that far corner on their left touchline.
Just keeping an eye on the Altona touchline there. And look at Casey Wentz, the backup goalkeeper. He is well out of his technical area. He technically probably say, yeah, I'm just warming up, ref, but he's way away from the rest of his fellow players on the bench. That is incredible.
Well, he just got a yellow card for his troubles too. There you go, well spotted.
It's impossible to miss with the fluoro pink. So perhaps one of the final chances before the half-time interval. Altona with their noses in front. Boy, would they love a second to try and get some breathing space on the scoreboard. All the tall timber forward for this one. already scored one from this position. Ball's whipped in. It's a dangerous one. Almost works out for McCloskey. Kellart's on the second attempt. And it's cleared away. And now a chance for Bentleigh to go back the other way. Matthews, his pass was lacking. And that's the end of the first half here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. And in this relegation six-pointer, Altona find themselves with their noses in front, courtesy of Ollie Kellart's header, which is the difference between the two teams here in Melbourne's southeast. Bentleigh, they've had a couple of half chances, but haven't really tested this Altona defence too much with all the plethora of their new signings. And Altona back the other way, though, Nick. They've looked the more likely to add to the scoreline and perhaps try and get some breathing space on the scoreboard, but plenty to play for in this second half.
Yeah, fully deserving of the 1-0 lead heading into the break. Altona. Really impressive energy and tenacity all over the pitch. They've elected to go long in possession, and it's worked out for them. The set pieces have been threatening. The wing play has been really dangerous, and Bentleigh have had a couple of moments, but as we perhaps expected, with 7 brand new signings in the starting lineup. 6, I should say. 6 brand new signings in the starting lineup. A fair bit of getting used to each other and familiarity to attend to for George Katsakis. We'll see what happens in the second half. It's a big second 45 to come. We'll take a quick break and stay with us for the second period. At the moment, it is Bentleigh Greens 0, Altona Magic 1.
Welcome back to Kingston Heath for the second half of this relegation six-pointer between Bentleigh Greens and the Altona Magic. Altona do find themselves in front. Oliver Killart's goal, the difference between the two teams so far. On the live ladder, Altona are now 3 points clear of the drop zone. Bentleigh occupying 12th on the ladder, the final of those three relegation places. But that just goes to show what is on the line today for both of these two teams. Altona, if they can close this out, they'll be not only 3 points clear, but have a much more superior goal difference than the Greens as well. So all to play for in this second 45. And a lot of pressure on Bentleigh to try and turn this one around. Nick Tabano here alongside Nick Hughes to take you through the final 45 here in this very cold evening in Melbourne's southeast. Lots of fog as well, descending right across the state at the moment. And there's been no exception here at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex tonight. Nick, all set for a big final 45 here. Can the Greens turn this one around?
Yeah, we'll let the mist descend, so to speak. Have to shout out the guys at Frank Holohan tonight. Brent Sternberg and Steve Curtin and John. We had a look at the replay over the halftime break and feel bad for complaining about the fog here. But we'll let the football do the talking, and it's a massive second half. Feels like such a crucial game for Bentleigh, given the context of their season, the transfer window, the new players that they've brought in, and indeed what their run looks like, including this game. They're on a run of 4 games of facing the other 4 sides currently in the bottom 5 alongside them. One of those, of course, is Dandenong City, who we touched on, Nick, who are performing above that level at the moment. But next week they go to Green Gully. The following week they go to Dandenong Thunder. Then they host Dandenong City. Then it's Preston and Oakley, and then St Albans, which again is another one where St Albans could find themselves reeled back into that relegation scrap. So crucial this next month for Bentleigh. And it needs to start happening in this second half as they face a 1-0 deficit. Boffey. Matthews turns and feeds Kamara. Goes long. It's an excellent ball from Kalilu Kamara. Dovison first time. Flashes it just wide. And in less than 2 minutes of this second half, Bentleigh have created something far bigger than anything they managed in the first entirely.
It was a beautiful play there to find Campbell Dovison. That's the sort of threat that he does possess. We've seen him score in many big games throughout his tenure at South Melbourne. And now here at Bentleigh Greens with more of an extended opportunity, you'd think, and a chance to cement himself as a starter in this competition. Got himself in a really good position there. And that really is Bentleigh's first real chance to actually trouble this Altona defence and trouble Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkova, who just hasn't had a lot to do tonight. So good start to this second half here from Bentleigh. Exactly the sort of response they needed.
Yeah, it has to be the sort of moment that gives them that extra push and that bit of confidence coming out of half-time. We touched on it in the first half. We've got Ross Matthews and George Mells added to that midfield. We haven't really seen them able to dictate and dominate. That was a nice bit of play, albeit a rather simple turn and pass from Ross Matthews, but playing through the number 6 for Bentleigh out to Kamara, and we know the quality of his delivery. He's not just pace and strength defensively, as we saw there with a nice little run through midfield, and he's won it back. Brilliant from the Bentleigh skipper, still charging down the right wing. And still, finally gives it off to Petrados. Oh, the elbow was high from Gust. No foul given. Petrados looking around for answers. Now Mabok stream through on the other end. Matthews retreats to hold him up well. Excellent from Ross Matthews. Kamara yet again at the drop of the ball. Oh, goodness me, Marky Petratos, that is glorious. A little bit of payback from that raised elbow from Alexander Gust. What a piece of skill that was. Trying to find Doveston, and Kawaguchi can clear. And just having a look at Kalilu Kamara off the ball now, he's sucking in the big ones big time after a couple of big runs as well.
Oh, he went on a bench and he was twisting and turning and bringing out all the trickery. Fun few minutes to start this second half, Nick. Lots of action at both ends. Great ball over the top there, looking for the run of Von Essen. Was unable to get there first. Shalamanov Trenkova quickly off his line. Well, this is the exact sort of response that George Katsakis would have been hoping for. Altona were in control, a goal to the good. And despite that very slender deficit on the scoreboard, Altona were quite comfortable. It felt like that really they hadn't been tested all too often. There's been a big shift in this second 45 from Bentleigh and making things all the more difficult for the visitors, ensuring that coming away with the 3 points tonight, and if they can hang on, won't be straightforward. Shalamanov Trenkova. Good touch there from McCloskey, did very well. Links up there with Alexander Gust. Was looking back for the run there of McCloskey, but the experience of Jibba did well. And Jibba, good to see him back and playing, and missing a few weeks. At Dandy Thunder prior to his move. Garangaroo wins it back, looking to play it through. Mabok got a touch in. Was unable to find his teammate in McCloskey. And Kamara, here he goes again. Mells feeds it through, and Von Essen is fouled by Kawaguchi. And that's going to be a yellow card there for the Japanese defender. And the Bentleigh fans to our right, they're not happy. They thought that should have been potentially a red card there for Kawaguchi. We saw a very similar foul the other way in the first half going against Bentleigh, where Altona were in behind. So I've seen a couple of similar moments in either half so far.
Yeah, well, a potential red card, but the even bigger talking point out of that is Marky Petratos was clean through.
Yep.
He kept running. Von Essen was scythed down, and Petratos was in. And had the referee play the advantage, it would have been a massive chance for Bentleigh's top scorer. But as we've touched on, great response, great start to this half for the hosts. And another dangerous set-piece opportunity.
So it's George Mells standing over this one. Can Bentleigh turn this momentum into a goal? Ball's curled into the area. Nodded away there by Gillard. And Altona can now clear. Nicolaides. It's a slip in front of the Altona technical area, and the ball was out of bounds. So Altona could just slow things down and take the sting out of it momentarily. Nick, you spoke about the fog easing up. I feel like as this half has started on that opposite side, it has gone up a notch. It feels like it's gotten worse in the last couple of minutes alone. It's quite incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the referee for a moment wasn't going to spot his assistant referee flagging for the throw-in. But he, thank goodness for the fluorescent yellow and orange flags.
It's one of those things where they rely on communication more than ever through the headset, as now Mabok looking to get in behind. And an opportunity there for Sudamo making the run. Sorry, Atsopoulos, and he gives away the free kick. Or does he? Which way does it go? No, it's going to be just waiting there for the referee. The ball went out of bounds, and now the free kick is given. After all that, it was Atsopoulos who went right through the back of Kamara. Jeez, this second half's had everything to start.
It has. It's been a little bit of chaos at every turn. Just from our angle there, Nick, it looked like Mabok was actually going to get in behind Boffey and into the box. Once we saw the bounce of the ball and realised it was moving away, now Mabok can chase again. Withers smartly off his line. No foul. Jeeba can get on the ball and knock it out of play. So we saw the first half was a little bit of an arm wrestle. This one so far has just been a little bit helter-skelter. We'll see if one side can sort of take control and calm things down, or if the remaining 40 or so minutes will continue in this vein. And Alexander Gust has just lost the privilege of possession.
Foul throw. A very rare foul throw paid. Oh, that was a very strong challenge from Metzopoulos on Jeeba. Sound just echoing here through this, our broadcast side. A little bit here for the referee to work through, Nick.
Yeah, that was a heavy, heavy collision. And Ben Jeeba is left on the floor. A little bit for the referee to sort out, and we'll see what decision he and his officials come to.
Oh, that was loud. That was really loud. So the physio's out here, Nick, but jeez. Be interesting to see what the referee decides from this one, Nick, because Jeeba is in some discomfort. It was a clear foul.
Yeah, I like this from the referees. Just delaying the eventual decision with the card and just simmering things firstly. Got a bit of the crowd to contend with on this near side as well.
Well, we even have a fan here who's pulling up the live stream and saying, I can be your VAR, basically. VAR, we're over here. To show the referee the replay, but the Bentleigh fans here are steadfast. That should be a red card and that Altona should be down to 10. Here we go. Here's the decision. Peter Ratsopoulos is going to have a talking to here with the referee. Taking his time. Alexander Gust now telling him to walk on over. So we'll see what the decision is. It's only a yellow card there for Hertzopoulos in the end. And, well, the Altona fans saying that was the right decision. The Bentleigh fans, though, they believe, well, that was the wrong one. No surprise, really, from you expect from both sets of fans. But nonetheless, it's good to see at least that Ben Jeeba is able to, well, hopefully run this one off. He still looks quite ginger, but he's back on his feet for now. So something for George Katsakis and his coaching staff to talk through in the next few moments.
Wow. We'll see what this does to the game now, whether the tempers will continue to rise, whether that'll spark a little bit of extra something from Bentleigh. Couple of really close calls between yellow or red. They've all been yellow so far, which have to praise the referee for consistency, and at the end of the day, we want to see 11 v 11. Now we can get back to playing. Mel's with another delivery. It's a good ball. Aru won the header away. Petrados wants a handball. Not going to get one. I absolutely jinxed the fog in the first half, didn't I, Nick?
Oh, you absolutely did. You absolutely put the Moz on it.
Wow.
Well, at least we know it's going to be a nice day tomorrow, Nick.
I hope I got that saying right. I'll have to double check. Approaching the hour mark here at Kingston Heath. Altona Magic still slender 1-0 leaders. Thanks to Oliver Kellart's first half header. Bentleigh have started the better of the two sides in this opening 15 minutes of this second half. All amount to nothing, of course, if they can't get a goal or two and get some points out of this game. Bentleigh was strong at the back of John Mabok, and Altona will have a free kick.
So Kawaguchi will get things moving again. It's been some big moments to start this second half so far. But still, the score remains 1-0. Gust has a go from long range, but straight to Kamara, and here he goes again. Kalalu Kamara looking to take it upon himself and feed it through towards the run there of Von Essen, and Shalamanov Trenkova quickly off his line. Clears it first time. Kamara's there again to mop up. And every time he gets on the ball, he's got one objective, and that is to go forwards. He's corralled that time and goes centrally. Matthews does really well to ride the first challenge. Ball ricochets off a host of white and green jerseys, and still going here from midfield is Matthews. And the ball's put out of bounds and out for a corner. Well, those two flashpoint moments in this second half, the opportunity Bentleigh had where Marky Petratos was in behind, clean behind, but the ref calling it back for the foul, and then that foul a couple moments later where Hatsopoulos got a yellow, that challenge on Gibber. But since then, Nick, it's really been Bentleigh in this second half who have looked the more likely, and they're starting to turn the screws here. Ball into the near post, it's flicked on towards goal and cleared away, but it will be coming straight back. Gibber, Kamara, switching ball, is unable to find any of his teammates, and it's out for a throw-in. So still we wait for George Katsakis to change things up and make a substitution. But so far, Nick, I mean, to start this second half, he'd be quite pleased with what he's seen, but eventually we hope it can translate to something on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how he and his staff approach this second half, because you look at their bench options, it's a rather defensive-looking list of personnel. Got, obviously, the new signing, as we mentioned, into a Mietzi, coming in from North Sunshine Eagles, the number 9. Sure, we'll see him at some point. But the rest, Cordeng could potentially come on in a wide forward role. But the rest, you have to say, relatively defensive-minded.
Mills' cross is cleared away by Gust. Petratos is there. Curls it back in towards the back stick. Aru's there to nod it away. And he does well on the second attempt. Now looking to break forward back the other way is Garang Aru, but that is a beautiful set of defending there from Nicolaides. Pickpocketing Aru as he looked to break forward. Bentleigh can go again. Ball's hemmed in front of the Altona technical area. Strong challenge in the middle of the park. No free kick given. Ball fed through. Dovison up against the byline, and he wins his side a corner. Another corner here for the Greens. Altona have had to do a lot of defending to start this second half, Nick, and corner's taken quickly. Petratos back out to Nicolaides. Changing the angles here from Bentleigh, and that's not a bad ball in, and it comes out towards Dovison. It was just a heavy touch, and it's cleared away. Not for long. Gibber waiting at halfway to send it forward again. Aru nods it away, and Kellart's. Oh, it's a very risky pass back to Gillard. And Gillard was there to clear. Boffy. Contest there. This calls for a handball. Bentleigh bench not happy, nor is George Mells. And the ball goes out for a throw-in.
Couple of corners, couple of risky moments at the back for Altona. They're just about holding firm. Koski very nearly picked out a nice release out to the far side. Bentleigh have had a lot of the ball in this second half. Almost 20 minutes of it have elapsed. The only thing left is to turn that possession into a goal. Baldea and McCloskey competing. The throw-in will be Bentleigh's. Boffey. So Nicolaides. Matthews is in acres of space in the middle. Nicolaides decides to go on his own, and he's done brilliantly. Dovison approaching the box. Aru with him every step of the way, and he dives in, Garangaru. There's no whistle. Nicolaides takes over, lifts one into the box. Headed away, it'll fall to Ross Matthews. Just slightly overhit his first touch and invited the block. Gust. 2 15s going at it, Gust and Baldea. Kawaguchi. Safety first. And it very nearly worked out to get Mabok involved. That's well done between Boffey and Matthews. Just a hacked clearance from Gustaf for a throw-in. Feels, Nick, that Bentleigh are just building and building. Controlling that possession and inching further forward, and just waiting for that piece of quality in the final third to bring about the equaliser. Can see through the fog a couple of substitutes warming up, so perhaps some changes on the way as well. Free kicks taken quickly. Jeeba. Petrados continued his run. Jeeba couldn't find him. Ooh, Bentleigh get the throw. It looked like Altona's ball. As it is, Jeeba threw it a little bit too far ahead of Petrados. It's always a difficult one to read, isn't it, Nick? How the trailing team approaches the final stages of a game like this, because you feel confident, you feel like you're on top, and you know the moment's coming. But at the same time, you feel like you need a little bit more to create that chance. And you know, what do you think George Katsakis will be cooking up on the touchline? And you know, can we expect a change of style or something? Because at the moment they're knocking down the door and they just can't quite swing it off its hinges. Brilliant ball from Kamara down the line. McCloskey back to whip it away from Jeeba.
Actually looks like Altona are preparing a double change first, Nick, which is quite intriguing to see who they're going to be bringing on to try and shore this one up. Perhaps even chase a second.
Yeah, equally as it is interesting to see how Bentleigh approach the final stages. Equally for Altona, do they get themselves bedded in further in defence, or do they go and chase that second to potentially kill the game off? Dovison dropping deep. Spreads it to Kamara. Going on another of his runs, and then he just plays it to nobody.
Well, Nick, it also looks like it's going to be a triple change, actually, for Bentleigh as well. So it's like Iman Sordo coming on here for Oliver Kellart. First change for Altona. We'll try and rattle them off as quickly as we can. Liram Almazi on for Gavin Tasevsky. So a defensive change there, bringing on Almazi. But Sordo, someone who has goals in him, coming on here for the goal-scoring Ollie Kellart's had a very impressive game today, Nick. Got that all-important goal. And it also looks like it's going to be Owen McCloskey coming off. And it's going to be Eric Constandi-Ziu coming on too. So a triple change from Altona as well. We're going to see Scott Hillier coming on for his 100th game, on for George Mells.
Coming up for Altona, and number 46 coming on. It's 3 substitutions for them.
And it'll also be coming on Yuto Kakiuro coming on for Ben Jeeba at fullback. And we await what the other substitution is. But for now, it looks like it's Ndue Muyetsi coming on here as well for his Bentleigh Greens debut. So 2 more debutants for Bentleigh. And it looks like it's, I believe, Aidan Von Essen that's also been taken off. Matthews looking to play it in behind, and it's cleared away. So a whole host of new faces, 6 between the 2 new teams. Actually, in fact, only 5. I must stand corrected. Costandi Ziu was not coming on. It was actually Ndue Mietzi who was coming on. So it was Von Essen coming off. Do apologise. It was all happening. It was like London buses down there on that touchline.
I hope the 4th official had one of those pocket heat pack thingos.
Yeah.
Feel for him if he was having to manoeuvre that electronic subs board with frozen stiff fingers. That would not have been fun.
It's all happening here. So Ndue Mietzi on for his Bentleigh Greens debut alongside Yuto Kukiyoro for the final 20-odd minutes of this game. Von Essen and George Mells, their first appearances, and Ben Jeeba coming to an end for Bentleigh Greens. And good to see Scott Hillier on for his 100th NPL Victoria appearance as well. So triple change from the Greens, a double change from Altona, and a mix-up at the back here has created an opportunity for Altona, but they're happy to just take the throw-in instead. So Liram Almazi and Eamon Sordo on here for Altona, and it looks like there's been a bit of a shift as well in System 2. Ball whipped into the box, nodded away by Hillier. Comes out there, and it's Sutamoma Bock with an acrobatic attempt, and Withers quickly off his line. And Kamara's down after that John Mabok attempt. Altona haven't tested Andrew Withers at all in this second half, and that was just a little opening there for the Magic to try and test the Bentleigh shot stopper. Try and find that all-important breathing space on the scoreboard, Nick.
Good little spell for Altona. They've, as you said, played much of this second half in their own half, defensive half. Very quickly, Bentleigh back on the attack. That's a nice touch from Petrados. First involvement for Hillier in game 100. He lifts it into the box. Matthews looking for Mietzi. He'll get it back, Ross Matthews. Matthews again. Again, can't quite find Mietzi. Kamara in a bit of trouble. Gets away from Mabok. I feel like these changes have caused a little bit of chaos for Bentleigh at the moment. A few players running into each other's positions and popping up in various areas of the pitch. An offside flag will curtail that attacking move. 15 minutes, just over of normal time for Bentleigh Greens to find a response. 15 minutes for Altona Magic to hold on to what would be a monumental win in their season. Melbourne City have taken a 2-0 lead at Churchill Reserve. Roland Balla scored the first. We'll wait and see who had the second. Jacob Tratt with a late winner for Oakley at Olympic Village for Oakley to beat Heidelberg, and Dandy City ending up 3-1 winners over Avondale. Tim Atharinos cannot stop scoring. Another 2 for the Dandy City attacker. Mabok brought that down well. Nicolaides just about managed to make contact with the ball. Another one of those line ball dogso calls. It's the third one we've had today, Nick. Petrados has loads of space on this near side. Hillier's overlapping him. And it's with the captain. Delivery is disappointing. Sordo back to Gust. Good strength from Kamara, but he's turned back into trouble. Eventually sorted it out with a good challenge.
It's been impressive tonight, Alexander Gust, for the most part. Really sure performance at left back. Unable to bring that one down, though. Muyetsi. First real involvement since coming on. Boldea. Hillier. Again in a crossing position. Just looking to work their way through this sea of white jerseys are Bentleigh. Petrados forced to recycle. Kamara was looking for the long ball, but Mabok did well to put him under the pump. Matthews. Petrados, great ball forward, and Shalamanov Trenkova off his line quickly. And now Altona can go back the other way. Kawaguchi shifted over to his natural position at fullback. Looking to get forward here. The run comes from McCloskey. Has players lining up in the middle. It's not a bad ball into the area. It finds Iman Sordo. Has space to shoot. Takes an extra touch. Still going Sordo. And the shot's blocked. And perhaps just maybe 1 or 2 touches too many there from the Altona substitute there, Nicky. Probably just had to take it first time, or really after that first touch.
Absolutely, had to hit that earlier. Bentleigh's defence were really slow to close him down initially. It was only after he took the 3rd and 4th and 5th touch that the Greens defence was able to get towards him.
Matthews, strong challenge from Arouz. Moved into the middle of the park alongside Tasevsky to try and close this one out. Altona have got a lot more defending to do if they want to claim what would be a massive 3 points in the context of their season. Hillier, not the best of first touches, but was able to chase it down. Euro does well. Dovison, great touching board, feeds it through back to Hillier. It's a great run into the box. It's not a bad ball in. And Shalamanov Trenkova, I think, got a paw to it. Muyetsi was waiting at the back post, and lovely bit of interplay there from the Greens. And they do get themselves a throw-in, so perhaps one more chance here for them in this play. Let's try and put this Altona defence under the pump. But they've turned it over. Garangaroo looking to push the pace back the other way. Feeds it through. Mabok. Stops. Props. Has a go. And was always going wide in the end there from John Mabok. And that's the danger that Altona still possess going back the other way, Nick.
Yeah, just as I was waiting to say that Bentleigh had just put together the move of the night from either team. Cut right through Altona's mid-block, worked it brilliantly down the right-hand side, and Hillier just couldn't find Mugetzi with the cross, and rather indicative of Bentleigh's struggles. Seconds after putting that move together, they're chasing back and down to an error of their own, very nearly conceding a second, but they live to fight another day. They're still in it. That is an absolutely exceptional ball from Mugetzi. Petrados has got room to go. Gust ahead of him. Shaking and baking. Hands close to the body, says the referee. Hillier looking for Mugetzi. Cleared away. Nicolaides faked the cross. Does the old push and run. Now he'll deliver and gets the ricochet back off his thigh. What an excellent challenge. Kawaguchi, I think it was, as you mentioned, Nick, shifted over to right back. One of a number of Altona players who's been excellent tonight, the skipper.
So just looking at the live ladder, Nick, Altona would be 3 points clear of Bentleigh. Minus 11 goal difference. Bentleigh Greens minus 22. So that really sums it up. But you spoke about these next few weeks for Bentleigh, including tonight. Such big games coming up with Green Gully, Dandy Thunder and Dandy City on the menu after tonight. So a real chance for them to stack up some points. Still time for them to get something from this game. They've been better in this second half without any reward, though.
Of course, it'll remain to be seen in the coming weeks how the new signings will settle in, and goodness me, even if there are more new signings to come, the window is still open. Clearly willing to make a move and ambitious, looking to retain their place in the top flight. Hillier's playing very high. There's a lot of space consistently on this near side. Petrados got on it. His cross took a deflection and fell harmlessly to Shalamanov-Trenkova. Chance for Altona to break. Kawaguchi unopposed, dribbling all the way into the final third, and still. Eventually crowded out by a couple of Bentleigh defenders. Now Dovison can scamper away. Must be like a relay race. Kawaguchi one way, Dovison the other, and now Altona again. Some more changes coming up, or one change coming up for Bentleigh.
So Cordang coming on here for Michael Boffey. So an attacking change. Was it? Actually, sorry, it must have been Campbell Dovison that's been taken off instead. So a mistake there. It's Cordang. Started the last few games for Bentleigh. Back on the bench tonight here on this right-hand side, and Bentleigh looked to break, and they've turned it over. Hillier. Deng offering short. First bit of play since coming on here for the Bentleigh substitute. Not the best of passes at all there from Hillier. Set a real task for Deng. Deng got ahead to it, but it's going to be coming straight back. Sutomo through the lines to Gust. Has space in front of him to attack. Goes for goal himself! And it was swivelling through the air. But Withers did well to get a fingertip on it and knock the ball over for a corner. But Alexander Gust, wow.
What a vicious hit that was. Going onto his left foot, everyone's thinking he's going to cross. And if he's going to shoot, you're expecting him to go far side. With the whip on the ball, bending it with the outside of his foot towards the near post. Huge save from Withers.
Here he is again, 1-2 with Sordo. Sordo goes for goal, and that one was never really going to test Withers, and Withers looking to get things moving again. Bentleigh have just over 5 minutes of regulation time, plus stoppages, to try and get something from this game. Kamara. Boffey. Long ball forward looking for Petrados, or any of the Bentleigh attackers, in fact, but it's gone out for a throw-in. The second half, it's been physical, it's been tough. Bentleigh have had a couple of opportunities, despite those real half moments. They haven't really put Shalamanov Trenkova under any sort of strain. But Alexander Gus chance back the other way. Perhaps the best chance of this second 45.
Yeah, certainly the closest either side have come in terms of drawing a save. Interesting. Looks like Maki Petrados has moved out to the left to accommodate Kordeng's arrival on the right. Really last opportunity now for George Katsakis to conjure up a masterpiece from the touchline and help his side find the equaliser. Kamara again gets himself in a tangle. He got back and won it well. Petrados. Ball's a bit behind Deng, but they're still on it. Petrados now is closed down. Brilliant defensive work from Sutomo. Deng can lift it back towards the back post. And eventually, Kawaguchi knocks it out for a throw. Need to keep the pressure on here. Bentleigh get good service into the box and see if they can create something. That is a good ball. It's Deng. Good leap at the back post. What an impact that would have been, Kordeng. It's only been on the pitch a couple of minutes. Tion Nicolaides, I think it was, that stepped in on the left and shaped the cross towards him. Perhaps just a little bit too big for him to get on top of the ball with his head up.
Time is running out now for Bentleigh. Feels like all these moments, all these goal kicks are almost like a win now for Altona. Shalamanov Trenkova in no rush to get things moving. Well, we're saying things that are unlike the World Cup. Those new rules that have been in place in the World Cup and are certainly not in play now, and that goal kick was quite poor. But Almazi was able to help it forward. Sordo sends it first time, and this has been a very tense second half. It's been tight, it's been physical. And Bentleigh, they're still coming. But again, Altona stand firm. Sordo looking to feed through Mabok, and it might work out for him here. Mabok, he's in behind. Mabok bearing down on goal. Great save from Withers. And now it's cleared away. And Bentleigh can go back the other way here through Deng. Petrados is available up ahead of him. It goes one way and back the other. Petrados back inboard to Hillier. Deng lets it run, goes to ground, and Alexander Gust, who is copping a bit of an earful from the Bentleigh fans, was there to help it towards Almazi. Boldea, Matthews, been steady on debut. Kamara, Boffey. Think there'll be a few minutes of added time. The ball comes back into a crossing position. It's now Boffey who floats it into the box. But, well, that came off really. Almost like the outside of the foot in the end there from Michael Boffey. And it's out for a goal kick. So, momentum quelled there for Bentleigh. And Altona can slow things down again.
Yeah, we'll see if Shalamanov-Trenkova gives us the knee raises and the little open and close the gates like the last goal kick. That was
doing his cool downs already.
Magnificent. But yeah, that delivery from Boffey, it's just another one of those moments. There have been a couple in particular in the last 10 or 15 minutes that, unfortunately for Bentleigh, just sum up their night, sum up their season, get into good areas, and just missing that final bit of quality at the moment. This has been played nicely out to Deng. Oh, he found Baldea at the top of the box. And it needed blocking from Almazi. Wasn't a great deal of power behind the shot, so it may well have been a comfortable save had it reached Shalamanov-Trenkova, but it's a lovely pick out from Kor Deng, who's had a great impact since coming off the bench. I believe that was a first yellow card in his new colours for Yuto Kukurio.
Well, we're going to have 5 minutes of added time, Nick, so plenty of time for Bentleigh to get themselves an equaliser, but these 5 minutes are going to feel like 5 hours for Altona to try and close this one out.
The risk of perhaps being hyperbolic, could be 5 minutes for Bentleigh to save their season. Still have 8 matches to come after this one. But every weekend without points added to the total is one weekend closer to that dreaded drop. Altona have the ball exactly where they want it to be in their own attacking corner. Referee sorting a little bit of action out in the box. Looks like the corner will be swung into the box rather than played short and kept in the corner. Oh, it found its way all the way through. Bentleigh can clear. Buietzi held it up well. Couldn't link with Baldea. Buietzi trying to give Altona the hurry up.
I think Altona are quite content with just playing the seconds here and slowing things right down. It's a heavy pass back to Withers. It's there to clear it away. It's going to be coming straight back. Aru looks to feed it through. Hilliard as well. Aru again. Sordo, heavy touch, and good play there from Kukiora to win it back. Deng. Kamara's been thrusted forward as they look to try and get themselves back into this game. Here he is in possession. A bit of a tussle there with Gus. Did well. Plays it back through towards Deng. Strong challenge by Sutomo. Kamara and Gus collide again, but Gus wins the battle and wins the free kick. But was the ball out of bounds? There's a bit of afters there between Gus and Kamara. And this game has been on a tipping point this second half. Alex Gus saying that the studs were up. And that should be given another look.
I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. It looked like Kalilu Kamara stamped on him. Committed the foul. He's pleading his innocence and looks like he'll get away with it.
Well, in the meantime, Altona are going to make another change. John Mabok will be coming off. He's had a couple of chances in this second half, but unable to add to his goal tally. The Altona top goal scorer. Replaced here by Eric Costandiziu for the final few minutes. But Nick, geez, this game is, you can feel the stakes of it. You know, what is on the line for both these two teams. There's been a lot of heavy challenges and some afters between the two players as well, but two sets of teams as well. And you do get the sense that, as you said, with every week that Bentleigh don't get a point, They get closer and closer towards the drop, but this one in particular, where as of right now they'll be 3 points in with this much, much inferior goal difference to Altona.
Yeah, as far as 6-pointers go, this is the definition of one. That goal difference is essentially like an extra 3 points as well. Couple of minutes left. Bentleigh a stretch looking for the equaliser. Lovely bit of skill from Sordo. Aru looking for the substitute. Well, that's a nice touch from Kamara. Kokurio, Petratos didn't know it was coming his way.
It's just interesting there from Iman Sordo. You know, he had the instruction, go to the corner, but he went inside. Lovely bit of skill, but you're opening yourself up to danger by going back in board, and now Bentleigh have the ball in a very dangerous position, Nick.
Yeah, brave is one word you could use. Nice bit of gamesmanship there. The ball went out over the fence behind the Altona bench. No one in Altona colours in any sort of rush to go and retrieve it. Swung in towards the back post again. It's Deng. Cleared away El Mazi for the second time with a key clearance in front of his goalkeeper. Lifted back in. And all the way out for a goal kick. Cheers and applause from everyone connected with Altona. Every wave that passes is one step closer to a monumental 3 points for the visitors here. Whistles are sounding around Kingston Heath. Play goes on. And there is the final whistle. Altona Magic with as big a 3 points as anyone will pick up all season long. Oliver Kellart's first half goal, the only goal of the game. And the Magic move 3 points clear of Bentleigh, 3 points clear of the relegation zone. And that is exactly what the doctor ordered for a trip over to the southeast. It's a third win in their last 6 games. As you mentioned, Nick, earlier on in the broadcast, they've become such specialists in fighting for their lives in the top tier. And yet again, they're showing it, moving into the final portion of the season. What a huge result that is.
Absolutely. Massive 3 points. This team that continuously gets written off time and time again. They always seem to find a new lease of life when it matters. And they've come away with a massive win here today and put themselves firmly in the mix for survival yet again this season. But for Bentleigh, Nick, I mean, it's now ticking over 3 months without a win in the league. The losses are stacking up. They were much more competitive tonight than they have been in recent weeks. Of course, a lot of new faces in the team. They'd be hoping that bed in the weeks ahead. But they've got some really big games coming up in these next few weeks against teams right in and around them in the hopes of survival. Obviously playing Green Gully next week, who haven't won a game all season. And that shapes up as such a massive game for both of those two teams in their hopes of survival. If Green Gully are going to pull off something monumental in the final few weeks, but for Bentleigh to keep themselves in the mix. But Altona now, they now look ahead. They've got Melbourne City at home next week. A big test for them, but a chance as well for them to continue to claw away from the drop zone. Signing off here from Kingston Heath. Thank you very much, Nick Hughes, and thank you very much for your company. It's been much warmer than us here watching on from home. Plenty more NPL Victoria action happening right across the state this weekend, so make sure you tune in for all the action on the NPL Victoria YouTube page. I've been Nick Devano. It's been great to have your company here. The final score, Bentleigh Greens 0, Altona Magic 1.